Delicious, luscious, creative, colourful. These are words that I associate with Marianne Hartley, a graphic designer originally from Switzerland who's now living in London. And I've come, and she's allowed me to come into her personal space today just to really explore a little bit more about the essence of who she is and how she translates that into her work. Hi, Marianne.
Hi, Francesca.
I'd love to ask you, first of all, what inspired you to become a graphic designer? Because I know that originally you were a little bit split between graphic design and actually working in social care, I think it was. So what was it that really made you take this particular path?
I think it's been my love of beauty and my love of art. And my feeling was that art, is wonderful, but it tends to be kept in museums and not everyone gets to enjoy it. And I wanted to be able to bring this beauty out into the world so more people could enjoy it and benefit from it. So yeah, that's really been my main motivation. And I remember just before starting college, I kept thinking, we walk down the streets and we see all these billboards and we're bombarded by images and by things we have to have. And I was thinking, wouldn't it be great if some of these images were just pictures that really made you feel good and really gave you something, so to make you feel better for your day.
It sounds like it's beauty over practicality, is that right?
Yeah.
And what do you most love about the work that you do?
What I most love is when I start a new project with either an individual or a company. I love getting to the heart of what they do and really capturing the essence and then drawing it out and putting it into a visual picture. And it's like it's drawing out the gold, really, that the company sometimes isn't aware of having, and is making that visible. So it's, in a way, it's making the invisible visible and giving it a shape.
I love the creative sound of that. It actually sounds quite juicy in some way. And I was just thinking that is it the heart of the company or the heart of the people, and is there a difference?
I think they're both very, very much linked, and it's obviously, say when an individual has his or her own company, then you're just drawing and you're going into the heart of the individual, but you can have a collective vision and a collective heart. So that has more strands to explore, and but both have, whether it's a large company, you still have to have sort of a single heart to make it beat, if you like.
I love the sound of that. I love the sound of your exploration, and I'm just wondering if there's more than your creative skill that goes into this.
It's probably my life journey, really, and the things I've loved exploring over the years, and I think alternative health and spirituality have always been a part of my life, and I feel like I draw on these other things to create designs as well.
And what's the end result that you most want your clients to experience from their journey with you?
What I most love them to experience is to receive something more than they expected, and for my designs to have revealed something to them that they didn't know they had. So that is the gift that I'd love them to receive. Wow.
And I mean, I love talking about your art, but I also know that it's been that you took a major change when you decided to move from Switzerland to London, and I mean that's a massive transition, I would imagine, and I can think of so many challenges to overcome to make that happen. Can you share with us a little bit about your journey?
Yeah, I'd love to. So my wish or my dream of coming to London originated at the beginning of me being at college, and but it did feel like a dream to be working in London and living here, which was obviously a big transition from Switzerland. And when basically, I think one of the biggest challenges, obviously once I'd made the decision I was coming, that's one thing, but the biggest challenge was arriving in London with my portfolio and probably with all the ideas I had about how London was going to be, and then facing, you know, the reality, and that London isn't such an easy place to live. And when you come on holiday, or when you're just here for a weekend, it's, you know, everything's amazing, but once you live here, it's a different story. And also when I arrived in '94, a lot of companies didn't have that much work, so the next challenge was really to find work. And all I had was a list of design addresses, and I contacted every single one of them and went to present my work, and even when they said they weren't looking for a designer, I'd still go, because I felt that making contacts was really important. And so from one contact to the next, I ended up finding my first week's work, that then turned into a second week and into a few months, and then I ended up staying with that company for a whole year.
And now you're self-employed though, aren't you?
That's right, yeah.
So what made that's another transition, isn't it? Like what inspired that transition?
Yeah, I guess it's the flexibility and freedom you get with creating your own projects and dealing with the client directly as well. And I love taking a project right from the beginning, you know, from the meeting with the client to the end. So I love the whole process and the whole journey. And I find that often while working within a company, you get to work on parts of a project, or it gets sort of more bitty. Whereas when being self-employed, you know, I'm taking the project from beginning to end, and I love that journey, really.
Fantastic, Marianne. And your greatest vision, your biggest vision of what you'd love to achieve?
My biggest vision is really to bring beauty into the world, and also support people with a great vision for humanity, to support them with great designs.
That's fantastic. Thank you so much for your time, Marianne.
Thank you, Francesca. Thanks.